Hey guys, it's me, Iryna Wood, your self-love and relationship expert, and this is your safe place where any type of relationship does start from a healthy relationship with yourself first. And here will be maximum authentic, natural as we are. And this is my new beginning, which is happening in Life Change in July under the beautiful name Hollywood Healing with Iryna Wood. Why? Because this podcast will be distributed for the podcast audience of mine and here as well for my YouTube viewers. So hopefully it's going to work out for good for all of us and will work out the purpose in a useful way. The structure of this podcast will be always the same. It will be an introduction which will speak about the topic of the day, and it will be based on my personal story, on my client's case, or something that I picked up from the news recently, or it could be mixed up as well, how it's going to happen today exactly. The second part of it would be psychological and spiritual overview. How did it explained in psychological language, or how we can take it for our benefit in life. And the third part, it would be about celebrities. How did they overcome those type of challenges and problems in their life, because their life only looks to be so beautiful and fantastic with all those beautiful dresses and fantastic events, but they have their pains, and how did they turn it into the games, and if they did it at all those challenges broke them up. So let's start today, and it's not an easy topic to touch, especially for the first podcast. It's how personal trial or personal grief and loss is shaking the world, and how to deal with grief, how to overcome it. Hey guys, I have changed my location because it was absolutely impossible to stay out of shade in this hot Floridian summer for the third year for me. So here we are. And today the topic of the day, how to deal with grief, how to overcome loss if it's possible at all, and how to find a new purpose in your life, again, if it's possible. Because it looks like it's not, since you lost somebody you truly deeply loved. And two friends of my husband recently lost their kids, their sons. They even look like each other. Absolutely amazing, outgoing, young, ambitious, talented, gifted kids, being representing a young generation, and unbelievable, great, very beautiful character for young men. And they had accidental deaths, and death is death. It's no matter what, it's a massive death in Ukrainian war when people are losing life after life, whether they are military, because the number of the losses in Ukraine military, it's more than 160,000 people already, and regular people, regular civilians, it's more than 130,000 people. Or it's war in Israel, or there are floods in central Texas right now, which is one of my favorite states in the United States, if you could say so. And people are dying. More than 120 people passed away, and more than 170 people are missing, and they just disappeared. And when your soul is gone from this earth, the only thought that could probably help you think positively about it, which is absolutely impossible, as me, as a person who lost a lot of people in my family as well, especially the loss of and death of my father, my beloved father. And the idea of overcoming this type of grief couldn't even take place in my head. I thought that pain would last forever, and it definitely takes time to process it. So I would speak not about the souls who are gone, and probably their mission is over on this planet, but their mission just have started somewhere else. If you believe in few dimensions and reincarnation and different lives, that probably would help when you're missing the person and you're still loving the person and you're emotionally attached to the person you deeply, truly loved. But there are a few stages of overcoming the grief. And I would like to talk today exactly about people, how to stay alive, how to keep yourself alive, how to find a new meaning of life, because the first stage of overcoming the grief is denial. You can't believe that it happened. You thought that trial could hit anybody and grief could hit any family but not yours. You thought that your parent or your child would be always alive, and you always will feel this attachment and protection from this person and keep all these memories together and fulfill them with a more light and, keep going in life. And probably if you had a choice, you would say, take me, but not them instead. And you say, no, it's not about me. And sometimes people, when they deal with their grief at this stage, they even can laugh, or they are surrounded by people because they're in shock. When you think about trauma like that, which is related to grief, it's always have three characteristics. First, it's always personalized. Second, it's always traumatic and it's painful. And third, it's always shocking and unexpected. Of course, there are type of deaths when you can say that person was sick for a long time and it was much better for that person to be gone because this person was in pain. But even if you are treating somebody and taking care of somebody whom you love, believe me, when they are gone, you remember only the good parts of it. You don't remember all painful moments. And you think, why God took this person from me? But there is always a spiritual reason for that. And after denial, it comes the anger. The anger because you're angry with God, you're angry with the universe, you're angry with this person which is gone, has left you. You don't even think, because it could be accidental death, it could be aircraft, it could be air crash, it could be a car accident. So person couldn't even think that that type of thing could happen to you, but you still are angry because how did you dare to leave this planet without me? I miss you so much. And after you manage your anger, because you have to put it somewhere, and it's better probably to take it out, and there's a screaming technique for those type of things, which is very helpful. You just go to the woods, you go to the forest, you go to the field when nobody can hear you, you crush things. If you need to ruin the plates and you need to take out the anger from you, or beat something in the gym, definitely not the other person, because you can't put emotion on the other person. Otherwise, you will definitely ruin your beautiful life around you. And the other thing is bargaining. It's the third stage, how you deal after your anger left you, kind of it, because you think, if I only had a chance to save this person. One of the mothers of the kids who just passed away, of my husband's friends, she said, oh, if I stayed longer in Italy with the guy, maybe that would never happen. And you think, oh, if I have called my parent more often, maybe that would not have happened. Or if I took out my parent for a vacation, maybe that would not have happened. So you start, and what happens at this second, you experience guilt. Because you decide, actually, psychologically speaking, you're playing God, because it is the one who is giving the life and taking the life away from you. This is the desire of the universe, even if it sounds painful for you. And at this second, when you think, I'm guilty in the death of somebody, from one side of you, people think that guilt is something good. Guilt is one of the most evil emotions, which destroys you, destroys your body, and after creates a lot of diseases, which could be converted into cancer or something else. And you will suffer yourself. So I wouldn't recommend guilt here as one of the healing practices. I would say that if you experience guilt, or you decided that you could play God to take out all those things from somebody, to rule the life of the other person, even this person was blood related to you, believe me, it's impossible. It's not your choice, it's not your responsibility, and it's not your burden. The other thing, here comes depression. Real realization that person passed away. You can't call, you can't play with these people, you can't talk, you can't spend time, you can't have a glass of wine, you can't celebrate things together, you can't greet this person on the birthday or New Year or Christmas time or whatever you are celebrating according to your culture and religion. And here you get your first understanding that that's it. That hit me. And you have to work on your depression very well, because you're the only one who can help yourself. And here you have to be very attentive, because this depression could be converted into chronic depression, which is more not even psychological affair. Here you have to address psychiatrists for better treatment and deeper treatment. So I would recommend at this stage, or even prior, when you experience first elements of guilt and responsibility for the death of the other person, start really working on yourself. Start to write the letters of forgiveness to yourself and to that person you're angry about that they passed away. Even if it sounds weird and horrible, yes, you do it. And you take out all destructive emotions that you keep in your heart and your physical body, because they will be stuck there, and believe me, you're not gonna like it after all, because it will destroy you and it will destroy life, what you have, and relationship you have with the other people, which are maybe good and healthy in spite of this death. and pain. And here you have to work on yourself, take yourself out of there, start seeing new people, new surrounding, try new activities, try to work on yourself, try maybe to hear different points of views, and really talk it out, because that helps. Even if you're talking constantly about the loss of your beloved one, do it, because that would help. And people who love you, they will understand you. You need to talk it out, because you don't need to keep it in your mind. You don't need to keep it in your physical and any kind of energetic body. And the final way of understanding your grief is acceptance. That comes through time, and it's very difficult to reach this point, because accepting that happened for some spiritual reason, that cruel death, unexpected death, horrible death happened for something bigger than that, and you have to find the purpose. Here's the only way out, is to find the meaning. And a lot of people are doing that, and not the, for example, when the people have been fighting with the cancer of their beloved one, and after they understood that they have to build up a center to help the other people to treat the cancer, or they invest money and put money into new innovations. After our spiritual / psychological overview on the challenging topic of the day, I promised you deliver some material with the cases or life stories of great biographies. This is one of the biggest things that I enjoy doing in life, while jogging, working out, doing sports, or when I have the free time, just to listen or watch movie about people who succeeded in life. That makes me cry. Love stories and stories of success, because no matter what kind of trauma or challenge or trial they had in their life, they became who they are, and their previous inconveniences and life challenges just shaped them and they became stronger. So one of them is John Travolta, and the Hollywood icon, and doesn't need any explanation. When you think about Travolta, you think about very bougie, very moving, very handsome, very sexy man, and very happy man. But this happy man had a trial in his life, and that was a son's loss. So he lost his 16 years old son, Jed, in 2009, and Jed had a history of seizures and passed away after collapsing in the bathroom while on vacation. This is a horrible example of shock and unpredictable death, because when you're on vacation, you're relaxed, and you definitely don't count on any kind of news like that. And that broke John Travolta, and he couldn't take part in the movies, and he couldn't continue his job for a while. And grief reshaped his priorities. He became softer, more grounded, more focused, and I think he was started to be kind of more related to healing and self-understanding. And with the help of his wife and daughter Ella, he came back to life. Otherwise, if you don't remember that there is anything else besides that grief, it's very difficult, especially when you don't have anybody to hug at home, or you have nobody to come back to home, because there are lonely people. There are people who have not good relationship with their family members. There are people who had the only one child or the only one parent, and they lost them. So this is kind of complicated. So how to get out of there? If you don't have any kind of supportive surrounding, then you have to find it. You have to find a solution for yourself. You have to find new people around you who will understand your pain. That's why circles of sharing the pain, understanding for people who are suffering from abuse, and the same, there are circles of people who are sharing their pains. And this is very important. The other thing, and I'm not trying to be here left or right, not Republican, not Democrat. On the other podcast where I'm co-host, Relationship is a Bitch, yes, we talk a lot about politics, and you can hear on my YouTube channel little clips and episodes, and sometimes I can express my political views, even being not a resident of this country, but I have my opinions, let's call it this way. I'm here long enough to be able to have my personal opinion about politics as well, but it's not here. So President Joe Biden, who became a president after all, he lost his son Bo, a war veteran and respected attorney who had a brain cancer, and he died in 2015. Biden believes that his son's illness was linked to toxic exposure during military service. But rather than shut down, Biden turned pain into purpose, pushing for cancer research, veterans, and legislation that honors both life and sacrifice. That's what I'm saying you. In first case of Travolta, he started to pay attention to the family, to spirituality, to healing, and he gave all his love to the daughter and wife. In this case, even Joe Biden was remarried and had another woman and had different children as well. But he converted it into purpose, and he started to help people who dealt with the same type of trauma. And the third, here I can express my opinion, Joe Rogan, who is the most beautiful in my mind and handsome visually and beautiful from the point of view of his soul and beloved president of United States. And he used to be a comedian, and he turned to be unbelievable political figure and person of justice. So he had a loss in his family, and today I'm speaking about losses of child. It doesn't mean that here the topic is only about children, but probably because friends of my husband lost kids. That was in a sad way, but I was inspired and motivated to show you, because it's probably, there is nothing more horrible that outlive your child. I don't have children, but I feel so. Even when I think about this, potentially, I think it's a horrible, horrible, unbelievable trial to deal with. And Ronald Reagan, he was married twice, and he was very successfully married both times. He was in love, he was very happy, and it was very difficult, the challenge of the separation with the first wife. And actually that's why I picked up this episode as an example, because the loss of his daughter Christine in 1947, he brought him to the separation with his wife. And he was remarried to a Hollywood actor who became his partner in love, partner in everything, and she was very beautiful, and he got two other kids. It doesn't mean that you give up life of one child and you were blessed with two other kids, but probably if not this trial, if not that separation, we would never be remarried, stay with the other woman, and to be happy until the rest of his life. So only you would know and try to find the spiritual overview and explanation for horrible trial of yours that hit you. I hope grief will be happening less massive and less on our planet at all, which has 8 billion people, and it's reducing constantly just because people are killing each other, people are fighting over politics, over religious disagreements. The kid provoked, I would say, in a bad way by power and money, and they are using them in a brutal, horrible, ugly way. They not bringing beautiful things to life, but eliminating the lives of the other people. So hopefully this planet will become more beautiful, more peaceful. And when you or anybody else will come across with a trial, other people around will have great hearts and help you heal. And here we are, it's my first episode, and let me know if you would like to hear more about challenging topics like that, what kind of topics you would like to touch. Write under this video, tell me what you want to hear, and I will be always there for you. It's Iryna Wood, your self-love and relationship expert. And please don't forget to share this video for those who you feel in need of this information. Please put like if you really liked it, and subscribe to my channel. I will deliver a lot of useful material for you from different angles for different topics. Fall in love with yourself first. Iryna Wood.